guys all been handling kind of like the carousel now, quarterbacks, and trying to get Carson ready and get into sync with him so fast?
Yeah, I mean, Carson's been around for a while. I mean, we've caught some balls from him. It's a next man up mentality. I mean, JJ obviously, went down, and, we have nothing but the utmost confidence in Carson for, the weeks and this week and, whatever may come. So, that's you're just trying to build chemistry as fast as you can. I mean, we trust in him that he knows what's going on. He's done this for a long time. So just excited to go out there, play with him in between the white lines.
You've been in this boat before, obviously a couple of years ago, but how does the game planning process change when you have a starter who's so relatively new to the building and hasn't been through all the installs in training camp?
I mean, I don't think much changes as an offense. We're just trying to. Obviously, Carson's been in this league for a long time. He likes some things that we have in our offense, and so bringing those into the game plan and just letting him play fast, let us play fast, and it's a normal kind of game week installs, and I mean he's had this whole week to obviously practice with us and then go run through basically every single play and get that confidence in those plays and go through it that way. So, I don't think much changes as an offense. We're just, getting the ball rolling with him and we'll let it roll out there this week. We're excited.
Even though he hasn't been here long, what does his experience give you on the field that JJ just, no offense to JJ, but he just doesn't have it yet?
No, I mean, I don't think you compare those guys. I think, obviously Carson, he's done it at this level for a long time. And we have nothing but the utmost confidence in him and coming in. And, like you guys have said, we've had this before in the past where, it's the next man up mentality. And it's just, you play when a ball comes at you either way, you're doing the same thing. It doesn't matter really who's throwing it, so it's just you got to make plays for that guy, and that's the plan, and that's what we're going to do.
Is there anything that experience, though, can teach the kind of the nature between a quarterback and a receiver or a tight end that maybe a rookie hasn't gotten yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, decision making, like, he can go out there and see it and get it done, and that's that just comes with how long he's played and how many snaps he's played in this league, and obviously there's ebbs and flows of the league. People are doing different things on defense now than they were years ago, and so just picking that up and learning it and making decisions and trusting in your guys, I think, is the biggest thing. I think he's doing that, and he's done that this week, and ever since he's been here, he's just trusting us, rhythm and timing of the play, and his footwork, and he's ran the show since he's been in the huddle. So, like I said, we have nothing but the utmost confidence in him on Sunday and moving forward for as long as we need him.
Obviously, it's been a roller coaster first couple of games. Just what's the morale and vibe like on offense right now?
I mean, we have a standard in this building, and obviously, we're going to come into this building every single day with the same attitude. No matter, we're not results based. We're process based. We're going to go through our process. We're going to do our things. We're going to do our routines, and we're going to do that more and harder, and we're going to go through that more detailed. But as far as vibes, this culture isn't built on wins and losses. This culture is built on, the Minnesota Vikings and who we are and the people and the love that we have for our brothers. And I think that carries, weight, but it carries this locker room through ebbs and flows of the season. And we're 1-1 team. We have nothing but, positive things that we can do from here. And, we can build this thing and this culture the way we want it, and that's what we've done ever since I've been here, and ever since a lot of these guys in this locker room have been here. And so, like I said, we're not results-based, we're process-based, and that's what we're going to continue to be.
TJ, what's the key to getting some of the underneath stuff going for you guys?
Obviously, I think the last couple games is underneath it have been tough. We've had some things go on, and I think it's just rhythm and timing. That's really all it is. When you're talking shorter routes and things like that, you got to get the ball out. You got to be where you're at, when you're supposed to be there. You got to make decisions fast. You got to do a lot of different things, and that just comes with time and doing things. And so I think we'll get that going. I think I have no worries. JJ has done that all offseason, been able to get things rolling, and I think we've been trying to take some shots, and obviously we're just one play away, all 11 doing their job, and really that's what it comes down to in football, is just being all 11 doing their job at the same time, and it really just takes one play, and you just don't know what play it is. That's the beauty about football, is you never know which play, and that's why you got to do it every single one. So I think we'll get that rolling. I'm not too worried about it. My job is my job, and I'm going to try to do it as best as I can, as often as I can.
TJ, obviously you did Adam first, and now you have Cam Akers back. Football-wise, obviously helps a lot with familiarity, but how about the chemistry, knowing that you're welcoming a guy that was already in the fold again?
Yeah, right when I saw we signed him, I was excited. Cam's nothing, he fits this locker room, he fits this culture really well, and he's been here the last 2 years. This is the third now, so it's always great to see a familiar face in this league, and just, hey, he looks great out there. He's running around really well, and so just excited to have him back with us, and in purple.
TJ, Adam was saying yesterday that he feels like, even from the last time he's was here, that he feels like Kevin O'Connell has kind of grown in the way that he leads the team. I guess being here a couple of years, have you seen growth, or is there a certain area with him that he's kind of come along or changed as you've been here?
Yeah, KO's the best, one of the best head coaches I've been around. Just as far as who he is as a person, obviously his knowledge of the game, and putting us in the best positions to win. And so I think that's part of his job, is to learn the goods and the bads year in and year out, just like it's our jobs. And I think there's definitely an evolution to that, and to who he is from year 1 to year 3. And if there wasn't, you're not doing something right, if there's not an evolution. So I think he's been incredible ever since I've been here. I owe a lot to him and the Minnesota Vikings. So I've loved it here, loved KO, and it's cool to hear that Adam said that. I think that involves this whole locker room, this whole culture too. So.